On the previous video, we did discuss about doing a Toyota Corolla project with the 4AGE engine. While that's still in the works and we basically are gathering all the parts needed slowly in order for us to be able to complete that project. It's not going to be done in the next month or so because we haven't exactly started it, and the engine is in one place, the chassis in another place. The analytics of our YouTube channel, KHL Motorsport Kuhol Garage, really do dictate that you guys are really interested in Toyota Corollas and the 4AG engine, and those series of Toyota Corolla videos have been very interesting for you guys. So it's in our interest to do that. However, this YouTube thing is not really revenue generating for us as of this time. It's really a passion project, a hobby that we document the things that we do with weird platforms like the Hyundai Elantra and Hyundai Coupe. We have a full-time job, we have full-time business that we are working on. And all these things that we are doing is all for the fun of it, for the hobby of it. Even though we do want to do that Corolla project, it's not in the list of immediate priorities. Immediate priorities, of course, to make a buck. Uh, we are, after all, fully employed in the business. With that said, if you are a fan of this channel and you're not subscribed, please do subscribe. Please do take the time to like and subscribe to all the videos that you like in our channel. Yeah, I'm sure it will help us a lot to have this channel grow and hopefully be revenue generating, even though it may be pesos and centavos at this point in time. But right now it's absolutely zero. So your support is really something that I would really appreciate. And we've also set up a Patreon. So we'll put a link on that one. We'll probably put one or two tiers for now to gauge your possible support in that regard. The second reason why we're dilly-dallying on the Toyota Corolla project is that I really want a challenge. It's it's relatively easy to do. I'm not saying that it's a walk in the park. Building up a Corolla is has been done many times. The parts are so common here in the Philippines. There are lots of people we can ask advice and draw advice, and if we have the money, ask them to do the whole thing for us to the way that we envision doing it. So in that sense, it's not so difficult. However, since it's not so difficult, a bit of the challenge is lacking in that kind of thing. But of course, the challenge is to assemble the parts as cheaply as possible. So I'm still titillated on that. But I want to do something exciting. This is kind of a long intro. This is a bit of a rant. After this one, there's a piece of video that I've shot detailing a future crazy project that we also want to be working on alongside the Corolla. And yeah, this is the video showing you what we have so far, what we are thinking about, and I hope that it's something quite interesting for you guys, and hopefully that you guys will also be along for the ride on I'm thinking of doing. But let me preface it by I just want to be able to do a unique project in the lines of very interesting prototype vehicles that have been done by a certain guy named Binky Victa. There was this vehicle that he has created called the Konghe, and there are several iterations of that car built for slalom racing, for rally racing, circuit racing, and so on and so forth. So, and also there's this other guy that I met the son. I sat with him, but not really talked to him much. But knowing the history of his father was Louis Camus, if I'm not mistaken, and that guy also built a prototype, but put a silhouette of a Toyota Celica body on that prototype and raced it successfully in Malaysia. So with these two inspirations, I really feel that it is within my capacity and capability, and with the parts that I have, just utilizing majority of the parts would be already on hand. I really believe that it's something that can be done, and it would really uh, challenge me with all the knowledge that I have amassed so far with I don't know, all the years of my whole existence thinking about cars. And I think it's something fun to do, and hopefully I am able to do this car. I go try it out in, of course, the crucible of motorsport, so to speak, and see if it's any good or not. It's not about winning, it's about seeing if it is a very good car, enjoyable car. Let me attach a video of past me discussing the project. I think it's time to think of new projects that we want to do for ourselves, for the shop, and to post it on the YouTube. And fell. Let's try again. But I'd like to show you one other project that I think would be very, very exciting. Probably it's the time now to build our own car. As you can see, it looks like a toy, and it probably is a toy. This is a monocoque chassis from a Formula car. I'm guessing this is one of those monocoques for Formula Toyota that have been raced in the Philippines during the 90s, probably early 2000s. I don't know the history of this. I could not find any plaque or plate signifying the manufacturer of this car, but they're saying it's a Van Damian chassis. You can see this is a sizable hoop over here. I would imagine this is more than adequate for rolling over. I think it would be a struggle for me to fit inside. It's kind of dark. There is some sort of go-kart seat, but it's too small for me, so I need to replace the seat with something bigger. Yeah, but if you go look inside, there's space for your feet to go through. I'm just worried about these things on the side. You see, of course, there's a hole there to locate your feet. I don't know if my feet will fit, but I guess we'll try. And this will be where the steering will be. This was used as a simulator rig before. Simulator meaning the one you used to play video games with. So this I bought it with the G25 Logitech installed. I gave the G25 away, and I'm just keeping this monocoque chassis. I think it's pretty heavy. You think it's made out of wood, but it's made out of steel. So this is gonna be very, very rigid. I plan to make a car out of this. I don't know. I have a very rough idea on what I want to do. Maybe make some sort of prototype with this as the cockpit for the driver. Let's try sitting in it. This seat is useless. I don't fit in it, so I'm just gonna remove it. It's dirty inside, but I'm gonna take a bath though. Yeah. Do I fit? Yeah. Ooh, it's tight. It's very tight. It's kind of tight. I don't know if I fit in this. My elbows are against the side of the chassis. Over here, it's tight, and my head is just below the roll bar. There's a plate here at the back. I'm assuming that's for a backrest or headrest section. Um, I believe that the previous setup is uh, the driver's a bit more leaned, and there seems to be space. So the driver can lean some more, I guess. Let me try leaning.
Wow, this looks like a coffin right now. But I barely fit. My legs are a bit tight. I could put a steering wheel here, very narrow, but I can't see over the top of this binnacle. I'll have to study how to make this work. And my knees are touching this part. I don't think this is kosher. I think one has to do something about that one if ever this becomes a real car. I think I have to think of the driving position if I have to sit upright or not. I think this is where the shifter is going to be located. There's a hole here. I'm assuming the shifter somehow or the other goes through there or something or some wires. I think this is the position for the shifter. Your hand goes here. This one is definitely tacked on. This is where the steering used to be. Don't know if this is made out of wood or aluminum. Looks like aluminum. Yeah, it is aluminum. Okay. It took me a while to climb up from it. But yeah, that's the project. Let's see if this is something worth building, or maybe I just base this one. I use this just as a basis for a different body or something. I don't know, but I kind of fit. But we have to do some stuff in order to make this into a car. It has no engine. It's just a monocoque shell. So let's see if really this is something that is very feasible.
Alright, so this is the plan for this monocoque chassis that we have. So let's draw the monocoque first. It's something like this. Right. And the opening for the driver is something like this. Of course, a Formula Car's layout is something like this. You have your tires over here. You'll have a nose cone over here. You'll have wings. You'll have your front suspension like this. Then you'll have your engine area, something like this. Your transmission will be something like this. You'll have a wing over here. Then you'll have your tires right here. Alright, so that's basically what the Formula Car is. So this is what the monocoque kinda was mounted as part of this Formula 1 looking car. But we're gonna do something different because we want to utilize the parts that we have at the shop lying around. We have a bunch of Subaru parts. We have two Subaru legacies there with the full four-wheel drive system with transmission, differential, propellers, and all that. So why don't we have a four-wheel drive Formula car? Why is that a bad idea? I'm sure for various reasons, packaging, weight, it's not really that important to have the front wheels as a driven wheels. Almost all Formula cars are mid-engine, rear-wheel drive only, and that's more than adequate. Even though they're having 1,000 horsepower, 800 horsepower, they're seemingly able to keep having the traction on the rear wheels, even though they have such stupendous power. We don't want to exactly do a Formula car. Let's at least utilize the parts that we have. Let's make something different. Let's make a prototype, but not necessarily a Formula car. So let's do it something like this. So we'll still have the monocoque here. We'll still have the monocoque here. Okay, the plan is to have a Subaru four-wheel drive system. But let's put it, instead of putting it in the front, let's put it rearwards like a Porsche. So let's have the transmission here. Let's have the propeller here. Let's have the differential here. Okay, it's not to scale, right? This is basically hand-drawn. Make this bell housing bigger. Let's put the engine here. Make it a 4-cylinder. This will be evident why later. Okay, these are the drive axles. Let's put tires here. So basically, this is the layout that we want to do. Have a Subaru transaxle. Mount it backwards. The front of the car is this way. Let's have an engine here at the back to make it rear engine like a Porsche, but instead of making it like a flat pancake boxer like a Porsche or a Subaru, let's make the engine upright. We'll have the four-wheel drive differential here. Then we could put the radiators here. We could put fuel tanks here on the side. We could put radiators here on the side. Could put storage space here. So that's basically the plan layout of what we're planning to do with the monocoque chassis. One thing that is evident is that Subaru engines spin clockwise. If you're gonna mount the drivetrain backwards like a Beetle or a Porsche, this means that if you have a Subaru engine still here, you will just drive the car backwards, 5 speed backwards and 1 speed forward. So how are we gonna get 5 speeds forward again? It's either you buy the gears to make the transmission spin backwards, or you get an engine that spins backwards. So in our estimation, in our guess, I think it is cheaper to just buy an engine that spins backwards than to buy the proper gears that you have to buy in Australia from a company called Suba Gears. It's cheaper to just get an engine that spins backwards. So what engine do you think spins backwards? Or that spins counterclockwise instead of clockwise? Actually, there's one major manufacturer that made engines that spin backwards, and it is Honda. So we're gonna use a Honda engine, and the cheapest Honda engine that spins backwards is the single cam D series. We already have the D series engine. We bought it in pieces, so we're going to rebuild it. And we already have the Subaru transmission. What we have to do is to make ourselves a bell housing, which is this part, to connect the engine, Honda engine, to the Subaru transmission. So we'll have the shifter here. So this is the shifter, the driver. So it's still left. The driver will still sit on the left side of the car. So proper for Philippine roads. So yeah, this is what we're planning to do with the monocoque. So guys, basically that's the gist of our prototype project. I'm sure you guys have certain questions. Probably some questions on your mind is timeline, and if it's really something that we are really going to do. Timeline, I don't know. Next 2 years. We already have the chassis. We have to build the Honda D series engine, but the chassis is in one place, the transmission is another place, and the engine parts are in another place, and we still have to put them all together in one place to go and start doing it. Perhaps if there's probably a car show or a trade show that we can display the car, we'll probably put the gas on it. But if it's again gonna be dictated by our own budget and time constraints, it's gonna take a while to do. So probably 2 years, maybe more. Anyway, it's still a project that is probably worth doing long term. And yeah, I guess even though I'm a bit fat, I fit inside the chassis, and I guess I just have to lose weight to be able to fit better. Anyway, but that's a challenge for also probably the next 2 years. Maybe that's something we should pursue for our betterment. Yeah, is it feasible? You guys let me know if this idea is really as harebrained as it is. I can still change it. It's still hypothetics as of this point, even though I have a lot of the parts already. So do let me know if you think this is crazy or too crazy to be feasible. It has been at the back of my mind, and been churning on it for several uh, moments in time. So I think it's workable, but your advice would definitely be very useful here. But yeah, if there's any questions and regarding this project, please do let me know in the comments. And if you really want to support projects like this and this project in particular, at the very least, you can like and subscribe. If you want to support us monetarily, we have the Patreon. That's basically it for now, and hope to see you guys in future installments of this project. God willing that we really get to start on this one, but there are a few more things we have to do before we get to start on either this one or the Corolla. But till next time, guys, see you guys. Ciao.